Hi, I'm Charlie Deer.
I'm Freddie Mackey.
And I'm Tracy.
We'll be teaching you how to throw the discus phase by phase. Helping us out with that is Matt Beech.
So the first phase of throwing a discus is the stance phase. Matt here will stand with both arms abducted, both upper extremities. His elbow will be extended. His wrist will not have much action, and his fingers will be flexed over the discus here.
Here we have the windup. As you can see, he's moving in a transverse plane. His left upper extremity is similar to his stance phase. His right upper extremity is flexible.
In the pre-release phase, there will be scapular adduction, shoulder extension, and the elbow and wrist remain the same. And then the discus is released. After the release of the discus, there will be shoulder flexion.
Here's the entire throwing motion of the discus in full speed.
After seeing Matt Beech's flawless form in the discus throw, we will now show you the incorrect way of throwing the discus. As you can see here, the improper form used during this discus throw resulted in hitting my main man Lloyd and possibly injuring him. This happened because the thrower did not use optimal angle and release timing of the throw. Other consequences of improper form used during the discus throw are athlete injury, maximum distance not being achieved, and bystander injury.
Another type of improper form is early release. Here's an example of that here. As you can see here, the discus is not thrown into the field of play. This is because the throwing upper extremity does not reach optimal flexion to release the discus into the field of play and reach the optimal distance. Another type of improper form is loose footing. Here's an example of that. So as you can see here, as this athlete goes to throw the discus, in the wind-up stage, he does not have secure footing in the ring. As he goes, he loses his balance and is not able to get off a solid throw into the field of play. This shows how important proper form is. When proper form is achieved, the discus thrower is able to throw the discus at its maximal distance. So we will talk about three concepts of throwing a discus. One of them being Newton's third law, lever system, specifically a third class lever, and linear force. So to start, Newton's third law, which is force equals mass times acceleration. When a discus thrower is throwing a discus, the mass of the discus does not change. So the only way to get more force is to have more acceleration when the thrower is in its wind-up phase. When more force is applied to the discus, the further it will travel. So the next, we will talk about a third-class lever system. A third-class lever system, like right here, will have the fulcrum on the inside, the force being applied in the middle, and what needs to be moved on the outside. So like a discus thrower, as seen here, the fulcrum is going to be at the shoulder, right here. The force being applied will be on the upper extremity, and what needs to be moved is the discus, which is on the very end. And the last concept we will talk about is linear force. Linear force is when force is applied to an object in one direction and that object moves in the same direction. So in a discus throw, simply the discus thrower is throwing the discus and applying a specific amount of force to it to get it to move.
Here we have performance variables necessary for the discus throw. First we have muscular strength, flexibility, and muscular endurance. Muscular strength. Whether beginning or advanced, muscular strength is important. As you become more advanced, your workouts should be more specific to the discus movements. Athletes should not overload while working out. Overloading is simply working out too much or past your optimal rate. Also, use correct lifting techniques to optimize results. Flexibility. Flexibility will increase your range of motion in your joints. This could be the joints that you use while you're working out or practicing any of this. It will also decrease the risk of injury. Muscular endurance. Endurance will allow the athlete to train longer at an optimal rate, which will help increase strength. This strength will then transfer to the discus ring.